Okay. All right. So we're rolling. Hey, everyone. Welcome to our Team Rockstar end of the month meeting. I'm Larissa. You guys all know me. We all know each other. We're all friends around here. Tonight, Melanie, myself, and Randy are going to be going over, what's the title, Mel?
5 ways how not to annoy people on social media.
Yes. So Melanie's going to list the 5 ways that we often find ourselves being annoying, and then we're going to go into detail about how to not be annoying or like how to combat those things, I guess, and then from there, how to really capitalize on social media to get your message out there. So it's a fine balance. It's definitely a fine balance. We do have a business that most people have built through social media, but you don't want to lose that, like, hey, this is my personal page, this is my information, I'm sharing my life with people. So hopefully we can give some insight on how to balance those two things. So Melanie, you want to start us out?
Yes. So the reason that we chose to do the 5 ways how not to annoy people on social media, it's in general. We're just noticing a trend on social media. When we say social media, we primarily are talking about Facebook and Instagram. And because the 3 of us are very active on all 3, and we find trends, obviously hashtags, keywords, little blurbs, oh my goodness, the same pictures over and over for, if you're sharing from another ambassador, things like that. And we want to hone in on those because if you are, for example, friends with 50 other Plexus ambassadors, you don't want to share the same picture and the same copy paste of description that they're doing all at once. Because you might have 10 mutual friends, and if your friends are seeing the same picture and the same blurb over and over in the same 24-hour period, and we've been seeing some things like that. So we went, well, what's one way that we can hone in on this a little bit deeper for the new year? Because here we are, it's January 29th, 2017 already, and this is the end of the month team meeting. We're going to do this every month, just to hone in on little things that come up. And by all means, if you have ideas or you need help with anything, let us know and we will talk about that in the team meeting. And this isn't a time for lecture, it's a time for us to share. So by all means, chime in with any questions or things you might come up with, or say in the chat, I have something to say, and we'll make sure we unmute and do that. And we try to keep it muted to keep feed off of the airways. But this way, we don't miss anybody if you have any questions. And then if you have any questions at the end, obviously let us know. I apologize if it sounds like I have a lisp. I now have traveled back times. I now have a retainer in my mouth. So I went and got a permanent retainer again. It's glued in, and I find myself a little bit. So you're not hearing things. It's truly me trying to get used to it. So 5 ways how not to annoy people on social media. And it can come across annoying. That's why we call it that. By the way, this is my husband looking over my shoulder. He's also a Plexus ambassador. He's not some stalker. So he can testify to all these things too, because we were talking about these a little bit ago. So number 1 is vague book. Don't be vague in your posts. So Facebook, vague book. There's so many different examples that can be said, but sometimes it's annoying. It is misleading. You have people going, what are they talking about? Give an example of a vague book post. Maybe it's like, I have something I want to tell everybody.
Yeah.
And then that's it. There's no anything else. And everyone goes, okay, so then there's a bunch of comments, or people get concerned, right? They get concerned right away too. Sometimes they go, well, what's going on? Or just little things like that. If you want to draw attention in with a more vague post, you have to give a direction. Use hashtags to help you. Hashtag exciting news, hashtag more to come, hashtag because it draws excitement rather than concern. And the reason we call it vague book is because if you're being so vague on social media, on Facebook primarily, because the comments come in faster there, then it draws concern, annoyance. Some people get frustrated with that. And some can get really irritable with the fact that, oh, there she does it again. She's just posting something we don't understand. So try to find a way that it can come in enticing, but you want an attention to your post. It doesn't. We're not talking about just Plexus. We're talking about in general. You know, if I had some exciting news, okay, let's say I am getting eyelash extensions and I'm really excited about it. I'm not going to be like, I'm so excited to tell you this news about my eyes, and then I stop. Maybe go in more deeper. I have this exciting news about this beauty thing with my eyes. Go in a little bit more detail. It kind of helps people realize what it is. Number 2 is don't be a corporate spokesperson. So my Facebook page is not sponsored by Plexus. It's Melanie Durham's personal Facebook page. It's my blog, my vlog, my journal, my social media outlet of happiness. And my Instagram is not sponsored by Plexus. If you're finding that your feed is not getting a lot of attention, your own friends and family are not liking your posts, any strangers of mutual friends, friends of friends are not liking your posts, there might be something that you're posting in regards to being a corporate spokesperson. So again, it goes back to, are you posting a lot of graphics? Are you posting the same picture of yourself, right? That can get monotonous. Break it up. Put a picture of your kid picking his nose. I mean, everyone wants to see that, right? Watch that you're not pushing. My husband's like, oh no. We'd have a lot of those, yeah. Watch that you're not posting everything about Plexus. You are not Plexus Facebook. You're not Stamp Pads Facebook. You are not a lotion company Facebook. You do not sell pens. You don't need to product place everything. However, it's okay to take a picture with your kid and you have your pink drink and you're like, momming is so hard. Hashtag my mom's so hard. And why would I choose that? Because it's also a very popular blog. But so you want to be strategic in what you're doing. Watch that you're not just pushing corporate things, because that can get you in trouble with compliance, because you might drop something there about Plexus or nails or whatever it is you're talking about. And people are tuning into your page and your Instagram for you. They do not want to just see everything about commercials. They don't. And that can get annoying and irritating. Number 3, don't be a robot or have robot responses. Let that marinate for a second. So if I'm really trying to comment on my friends and family's post, I'm going to be personal because I care. I'm not going to comment on everyone's post with the same thing just because I feel like I need to comment on 15 people that hour. I don't do that, by the way. But at the same time, there are people with those goals because they want to keep their feed active. That's fine. But if you're copy and paste the same thing, hey, that's awesome. Hey, that's awesome. Hey, that's awesome. And you just did that to 15 people, you just turned into a robot. If you did it to 5 people, you're a robot. Read what they're posting, respond to their posts, and especially if it's your friends, family, people that you care about, you're going to have the individual responses for those. So just be mindful of how you respond. OMG, LOL, that gets old. It gets old really fast. So put something enticing on there. OMG, your hair looks amazing.
Can I interject really quick too?
Yes.
If there's something like major going on and saying, sorry to hear that, or prayers or whatever, like, hey, first of all, if you say you're going to pray for someone, please just really pray for them, and then just say like, prayed for you or something, like really actually do it. Don't just say you're going to do it and not do it. And then second, if you feel compelled, I've said this before in previous Zooms, but a great thing to do is actually message them, private message them. So don't become so automated that like it's like just a one word response in like somebody's feed. Sorry to hear that. That's too bad. Like literally message them. This is always about having relationships. This is staying engaged with people that you actually care about and letting them know, hey, I still care about you. I'm not a Plexus salesperson. I'm not just here to sell Plexus to everybody. I am still the same person that have known each other for years and years, and I love you, and I'm sorry this is happening. Message, how can I help you? How can I be praying for you? What specifically needs to be done? Like, just go there, and if it's like they just had, congratulations, your family's expanded and it's beautiful and I'm so happy for you. Are you doing a meal train? You know what I mean? Can I get on the calendar? Something like that. I mean, I'm a service person, so I'm always like, how can I help? What can I do? But a personal message goes a long way. So that's all I was going to say about that beyond just generically responding in a feed.
No, it's true. And if the post is vague, like she was saying, like some people say, oh, need prayer for this. Don't just say, oh, praying, this. I mean, you can, but if it's something that really leads with your heart and really is that tugging at your heartstrings to say something, message them. You don't have to go into detail on a comment and say, hey, I'm praying for you. I don't know what's going on. And all of a sudden there's a paragraph. So be personable. We care about each other. We care about other people. And that truly does show. And don't be offended if they give you a robot response because maybe they're overwhelmed. And don't be offended if they don't reply back to you. I reached out. I sent a message. And I'm trying to be helpful. And they're not getting back to me. Well, you know what? You were helpful by messaging them saying, I'm thinking about you. And that goes a long way. So far we have number 1, don't be vague book. Number 2, don't be a corporate spokesperson. Number 3, don't be a robot or have robot responses. And number 4 is don't use only graphics. We've all done it. We're all guilty of it. So let me give you a quick rundown. Today, let's see, it's 2017. I have been with Plexus almost 2 years. Next month will be 2 years. I am guilty of using graphics probably my first solid 5-6 months. And it wasn't only graphics, but I definitely was like, oh, that's a good one. I'd search on Instagram and pull something down and pull something from Facebook because somebody else posted it. So it must be true. Well, if you're newer to Plexus, we used to be able to create graphics and actually send them to the compliance department of Plexus. They would look at the graphic, make sure it's compliant, make sure it's not saying some crazy claim or anything, and then they would actually issue you a compliance number. You had to put it on that graphic so they showed it was approved by Plexus compliance department, and then you can post it, and then it could be shared and whatever. Well, the FTC is the Federal Trade Commission. They have very, 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 very strict guidelines on what can be claimed in general if you're not a drug company. Luckily, Plexus is not a drug company, but it also has to do with being compliant. So if you find graphics on Instagram, if you're doing looking up hashtag Plexus Slim and you see the coolest 3 graphics and they say a cool little saying or something with a picture of a lady who's really skinny or whatever the case may be, that probably is a really old graphic. And we're talking like 3 or 4 years old. It's not necessarily right to use it now. Someone else probably used it and they saw it. Let them take the blame on that, because right now compliance is really honing in on being compliant, following FTC regulations, following what we need to remain a good Plexus or a supplement company with the Food Drug Administration. And you don't want to just use graphics because then you look salesy. So if you see this is what I like to do. I see a graphic and I'm like, that's a smart way to do it, but I can't use a graphic. I might take the little sentence in it, reword it a little bit that has to do with me and a picture of me, of my kid, of whatever, or not even put it on the picture itself. I'll just put it in the caption because it's a really cool saying, and there I go. As long as it's not claiming anything, it's not making any medical claims, you're fine. But don't get all graphic-y because nobody wants to see that. It's salesy.
Yeah, I was also, sorry, I just like to kind of piggyback on what you say, what you've been saying. But in addition, there's like a couple of things if you really, really absolutely have to use a graphic, Plexus does provide graphics for us in our back office. They are high quality and they've been approved by compliance, so that's cool too. The other thing is with graphics, like, just don't choose low resolution graphics. That's one of my pet peeves. I'm like, that looks cheap and like from 1992. So early internet, or do we even have the internet in 92 anyway? 96. But you know, be paying attention to, if you absolutely are like, oh, I have to share this graphic, just make sure it's a good quality graphic and it's communicating well and not making us look like we don't know what we're doing professionally speaking and that we just put up garbage. So anyhow,
Yeah, no.
the point is, again, the point is to utilize Facebook to tell your story. And this is all about storytelling, you guys, whether we realize it or not. Facebook is there. Instagram is there because people are interested in our stories. We are a culture of reality TV. Well, thank you, Writer's Strike. That was 1996, but anyhow, I digress and fall into my film and visual culture degree. But anyhow, there's a reason why we're inundated with reality TV. A, it's cheap to produce, and B, people absolutely love it. People eat it up. And blogs had a big run. I mean, I'm not saying blogs are dead or blogging is dead, but social media created a new forum for us to tell our stories, and we love to follow each other's stories. So no one wants to see your crappy Plexus graphic from, you know, when Plexus first launched. They would rather see you with a Plexus product, doing something that's integrating Plexus into your life, and now it's a lifestyle and it's a part of who you are, what you do, that kind of a thing. So I'm just trying to get you to switch the way that you think, okay? Because yes, this is a business if you're working it as a business, and businesses need to advertise, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And any reality TV show that you see, like at the end, furnished by IKEA, right? Like, I mean, it is a way for people to advertise products. And so if you're utilizing it to promote your business, then you should absolutely utilize it to promote your business. You'd be foolish not to. It's just being smart and not making it seem like you're selling something, because at the end of the day, I don't think any of us look at this like, I gotta sell more products. I gotta sell more
No.
It's about getting the people that you know and love healthy right there along with you. And so what you're telling them is your health story, your health journey. We recently heard, I think it was Autumn McLeeds, who's an Emerald ambassador. She climbed the ranks really quickly. She's a doula and she's awesome, and she is like on it. She knows her stuff good, as far as like the products and stuff and how they work. I love her.
And natural health in general.
Exactly. So anyhow, with that said, one of the things that she said that's so important about posting your Plexus story from the time you start using your Plexus products, and that's not to say if you haven't that you shouldn't, but it's really great to hear from the very beginning, because people want to know the beginning, middle, and end. They want to watch. They don't want to jump in the middle of the movie. They don't want to come in halfway through the season. I don't even know what's happening. When did this all happen? I'm so confused, and that's another annoying thing. Like, why am I coming in halfway into this story? Wait, how did this happen, and why did I not know Larissa lost 40 pounds over the summer? Larissa, how did you lose 40 pounds over the summer? No, everybody knows how I lost 40 pounds over the summer.
Well, yeah, because if you posted a graphic out of nowhere that just said, congrats to me, I lost 40 pounds, and you had never posted anything about your journey or what you've gone through with your IBS or anything,
right,
it would be jumping into the middle of a movie, and you're like, what just happened in the beginning of this movie?
Yeah. So anyhow, sorry, total sidetrack. Use the graphics, tell your story.
So the last thing I was going to say on graphics is this: you will find graphics that have really good points, and maybe it has, and these are really all over the place now. The old ones would have like a cartoon person on it, and they would have a saying. So there was one popular one. It had a lady that the first one looks like she's like running on a treadmill, and she's a little cartoon. And then the next one over is like she's dripping sweat. And then the next one, she's like beaming because she had her pink drink. So the funny part about that is it's a cute little cartoon, fine, but it looks really cheesy. It's like circa 1985. And then the resolution looks like you threw it in the washing machine and came in. It just looks awful. The best or the better way to post that would be, guess what? After you go for a run or a workout or something, take a selfie of your sweaty face. no one's going to judge you. No one's going to be like, whoa, you look ugly. And if they do, they don't love you. They do not care about you. Okay. My closest friends will be like, girl, you are sweating. You looks like you got your workout on. And I'll be like, hashtag, I sure did. You know, things like that. You got to be supportive. If you are self-conscious and you're like, but graphics are my friends and I hide behind these, I'm here to tell you right now, you got to get past that, because no one's tuning into your social media to see graphics all the time. They want to see you in your sweaty mess, in your bedhead, in your mom zone, whatever you're doing. You know why? Because someone relates to exactly that. And number 5, this is the last, it's kind of segue into the last one. Number 5, don't be the everyday is a bad day person. And on the flip side, don't be the everyday is the best day person. Okay, I'm going to go there. There are Barbie dolls on Instagram and Facebook all over. We know it's called fake book by some, and some people will live their life through pictures because it's got to be exactly filtered and exactly edited. My eyes have to have that shine in my left side, and I have to see stars, and I have to have my flowers on my head. And I get that. And a lot of them on Instagram do that because they are reps for clothing companies and they get free stuff. They don't get paid, they get free stuff. But if you're constantly posting about how happy and wonderful your life is, and it probably is, I'm not going to lie, but every 5th happy post about being real. Go back to the sweaty post. There's your selfie. Okay, got my workout on today. I don't like the way I look, but I'm sweating. Hashtag did it, or whatever. You don't want to post every day being a bad day too. No one wants to tune in to see a downer. Hi, negative Nancy. If I post the negative all the time, I would not be, I would be putting myself down, let me put it that way. If I was posting about happy all the time, I'd be fake. There are times I just like, not today. Adulting is hard. Hashtag. So be real. Try to see if you're not sure, scroll through your Instagram, scroll through your Facebook, and look at your last 15 posts. 15, and see, is there a pattern? Are you doing happy, 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 sad, or plexus graphic, plexus, you know, and then selfie with the pink, and then my kid, you know, see what it is you're doing and see if you have a habit. Maybe every day at 3:00, you're posting how rotten your day is. Well, you know, let's reevaluate that. Maybe the kids need to go down for a nap at 2:00, so you can be happy at 3. Try to think about what can you do to portray how you really are. I'm not saying be fake. We are not saying pretend to be someone you're not. Don't ever do that. But the important thing is, if you're trying to be a positive influence for yourself and for people who are friends with you on Facebook and followers on Instagram, then you need to be real and have something relatable. Everyone's relating to the 60-day trim up in one way or another. Some people are doing trim up for weight loss. Some are doing it for trimming up and toning up. And I love seeing all the different posts on that. I'm not going to say names, but I see people like putting a post about how they're getting their fitness on, and I'll comment, I'll say encourage you how they've lost some inches, and it's encouraging. And be aware that that's really cool, and use the hashtag. It's part of the deal. It's part of the whole contest. But at the same time, we want to see you and your progress, because I guarantee if you post that selfie now after 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks and they haven't seen your face for a while, do a side-by-side comparison. You might actually surprise yourself that you're changing physically, and people need to see that too. So those are the 5 things that we came up with, 5 ways how not to annoy people on social media. Recap: number 1, don't be vague book. I don't have a cool Instagram. Don't be vague-gram. Number 2, don't be a corporate spokesperson. We're ambassadors, individual ambassadors. That's a little bit different. Number 3, don't be a robot or have robot responses. Be genuine and real. Number 4, don't be the only graphics person. Don't only use graphics. And number 5, the everyday is a bad day person, or don't be the everyday is the best day or the perfect day person. So does anybody have any questions, or maybe come up with any examples, or maybe you just had a brain moment right now and a light bulb went off and you have a great thought, let us know.
Yes, I have a thing with this. So, in my quest of things I do in my day that it's not just Plexus, is I was looking at my children being a brand rep because I think they're beautiful. They need to do something, right? So I'm looking at brand rep. And I'm like, dude, why can't I be a brand rep for my own brand, which is me, Randy, and I take Plexus, right? So go look at people who are brand reps and how they do it. They've got like these awesome pictures and, you know, like their products just, you know, on. And they like, you know, this clippy, hashtag hair clip, you know, and look at my cuteness. And so really just look at like your brand. You know, like Melanie said, when you go and look at your pictures, what is your brand telling your people? Would you follow your brand? If you don't work out, but you, the people who are, you know, aspiring to be around you do, maybe you should, you know, try it out, go with them, you know, do something. So look at your brand and what you're portraying to people, and if that is really speaking to them, you know, and when you take your Plexus, are you seeing the results, right? People are following you and watching you. So if you weren't seeing results, get with your sponsor so we can help you, right? And some of you are seeing results and need to tell people, okay? So the before and afters are amazing, but tell them, you know, hey, look, I've added a new regimen. What do you think? Right? And then people are going to be like, what regimen is this? What are you taking? I want to know more. Right? So you know, give them enough suspense, but also tell them what you're doing, you know, so they understand all that. So be your own brand rep. What do you want your people to see? You know, do they want to, you know, whatever that is, what do you want to see? But I do have some housekeeping. So if anybody has anything on this whole Facebook thing, Instagram thing, oh, yes. Remember, create your own hashtag. Okay. Like, a lot of the brand reps back on brand repping has created their own hashtag. So when someone clicks that hashtag, like Larissa Hahn, Randy O'Neill, Melanie Durham, you know, or Dancer Mom, any of this stuff, you know, she wants to pick, they're going to click that hashtag and they're going to see all of Melanie's posts because I click hashtags all the time. I'm like, oh, what is that? Oh, what is that? Right? So create a hashtag that is just yours, that is for you. And when you click on it and search it, nobody else has it. So when then someone picks that hashtag, it's all going to be you and your stuff that you have to promote your brand. Okay?
That works for Facebook as well. If you click a certain hashtag on Facebook, it'll bring up everything on that hashtag. So experiment with it. Everyone that's on Trim Up should be using hashtag 60-day Trim Up. So if anybody clicked that hashtag on Instagram or Facebook, guess what? Every person who ever used that on a public post, it'll come up. And that's what's cool. The Trim Up, I'm using Trim Up Mel. Nobody else is using it. That's my hashtag for my Trim Up. So if I want to go back to it and see something, or someone wants to be like, Trim Up Mel, what is she talking about? Literally, that's my Trim Up hashtag.
Okay, we have some other stuff to go. I know it's running a little bit long with me, and I think we started a little bit late. Do you guys think, is everybody okay if we dive into telling your story? I'm going to do this as quickly as possible. You girls ready? Okay.
Yep.
Mike, you ready? Okay, hang on a second.
He's into it. Don't worry. He's into it.
All right.
If I wasn't, it'd go.
Yeah, if he wasn't, his head would drop. He's
all right,
good.
Okay, well, thanks, Melanie, for going over the 5 ways we are annoying people on social media. So the one important thing that you guys need to realize, and I already talked about this, right? Our obsession with reality TV, people's obsession with knowing everything about each other, and I think is rooted in that need to be able to identify with. People want to be able to identify with each other. People want to know that they're not the only one. I'm not the only one who deals with this. The reason why like shows like Keeping Up with the Kardashians is so like huge, or any other like celebrity reality TV show, is one, we kind of have this innate desire like within us to worship. Okay, we won't get into all the stuff about that, but we find celebrities extraordinary. They're extraordinary. There's something that makes them more special than us. They're, extraordinary, beyond ordinary. people like Kristen Bell, for instance, who like she was a celebrity in her own right? But then all of a sudden she's Anna in Frozen and she can sing. And so now she's uber celebrity because she's a Disney princess and she can sing. Like anytime you get an actress who all of a sudden we didn't know could sing, now she can sing. Oh my gosh, everyone goes nuts. So extraordinary. But the reason we like to watch them on TV is because they suddenly become ordinary. And we see them as regular people and we have things about them that we can identify with. So that is just a part of their story. So I just want to encourage you guys to not be afraid to really tell your story. I already talked about coming in halfway into the movie, right? Start telling people today what is going on in your life. So 3 months from now, they're not shocked and surprised. Oh, this has been going on for 3 months and we've been following the story. I'm going to share my screen with you really quick. I'm going to share a video, one with Kendra Hall. She was, they did a video with her for Super Saturday, and she is like the #1 storytelling lady. Like she is all about telling your story, and she gave us some tips. This is a little video, it's a couple minutes, about how to increase your visibility on social media. So I'm going to jump in just about halfway through here. Hang on. Did I not share? My phone is blowing up. We are having all these weird issues with my my security system at my kiddos. Anyhow, okay, sorry. Okay, sharing screen. Where is it? Share screen. There we go. Share screen. Firefox. Can you guys all see this? She's got that wacky face. Okay.
Shared with more people.
Okay.
They want you to spend more money to get more reach. But there is an easy and organic and free way to get your message out there despite these Facebook traps. You tell a story. Here's a little experiment I want you to try. Post a picture, just a photo, and give it a couple of hours, and then take a look at your reach stats. Not the likes, not the comments, but how many people
So what she's talking about is
saw
for
the
business
post.
pages.
Make a note of it. Then post the
Business pages, if you post something, you can see exactly how many people have seen it organically. It's your organic reach. So that's what she's talking about. This is in context to business pages. However, what she is saying is still applicable to our personal page. Okay, so
exact same picture, but this time add a story, something with a beginning, a middle, and an end, anywhere from 150 to 300 words. You will be shocked at how many more people Facebook will organically serve that post to. Your reach stats will be outrageous. I've had up to 10 times more people see a post that had a story versus the photo alone. Now, this, of course, leads to more likes, more comments, more engagement. Now, why is this? Think about it. Facebook doesn't want Facebook pages to overrun their news feeds with businessy, salesy type posts. Facebook would turn into a ghost town if that happened. Like MySpace with those band pages. Remember that? However, humans who are just using Facebook to connect with their friends and family members tell stories in their posts. If your business page is telling stories, Facebook is cool with spreading it to more people because humans like stories. They know the members of the site will engage, so they're okay with it. It makes sense, doesn't it? Now, I'll admit it is way easier to just snap a photo of a beach, throw a filter on it, and post it up there with the hashtag beach time. But if you take a couple of extra minutes and post a story in there while you're at the beach, or while you love the beach, or what your company does to get more people, more beach time, it will make a significant difference in your reach. If you optimize your Facebook page properly in your revenue and recognition. Give the experiment a try, because when it comes to Facebook business pages, a picture is not worth 1,000 words. All right, that's my secret.
Okay, so that's her big secret. Tell the story. So the other thing that she talked about, sorry, I'm pulling this up here. Stop sharing. The other thing that she talked about at Super Saturday is the fact that when you share your story with people, they trust you. And when they trust you, they want to work with you. And so from a business standpoint, it just makes a lot of sense to be vulnerable and to tell your story. They want to identify with you. They want to feel like they know you. And if you're keeping all your cards close to your chest, then you're going to miss out on that opportunity to really vibe and connect with your friends and family in a real intimate way. And we can have an intimacy in social media. So I want to encourage you guys with that. So the other couple of things I wanted to go over is just that, like, include people on the details of your life. Let them watch the movie of your life. And then as far as Plexus products go, I know we said don't be a corporate spokesperson and don't just share graphics, but really truly integrate the products into your story. If you're using them, if you're truly using Plexus and you're getting results from them and you're happy with them, that is going to be a part of what you do on a daily basis, and it's going to kind of shake down and play out into other areas of your life. So for instance, last night, I posted a picture of myself. I was just being wacky and messing with my kids, and I put a bottle of the Block on my head while I was eating dinner, and they were cracking up. And so I took a picture of that, and I'm like, silly mom trying to make her kids laugh at dinner with my Plexus Block or whatever. And people really liked it because it was a moment in my life of chaos and wackiness. So one of the things that you guys might want to consider, I'm kind of bouncing around here and I apologize, but we did talk about branding yourself. Randy talked specifically about finding like your own hashtag. So I've been hashtagging Han 2017 on Instagram, and come along for the ride, like inviting people to follow what we're doing. But I really honestly, you guys, I did strategically. I'm a business person. I'm an entrepreneur. I run 3 different businesses. If I don't know who I am and what my brands are, then I'm just shooting in the dark. So I would really encourage you guys to sit down and say, who am I? What do I do? What's interesting to me? And if you're on Instagram, hashtag those things. So hashtag teacher, hashtag, mom, hashtag entrepreneur. I mean, you're all entrepreneurs. If you guys are working the Plexus business, you are an entrepreneur. Hashtag network marketing, maybe, I don't know. But really look at who you are and come up with some things and be consistent in that, because from an Instagram standpoint, less so on Facebook, but Instagram, you're going to get more people who are going to follow you. I had some lady follow me the other day, and I took a cue. I don't know if you guys know Bridget Ryan. She's a Diamond Ambassador. She said anytime somebody follows her on Instagram, she just sends them a little message. Hey, thanks for following me. My name is Bridget. I got a crazy life, or whatever it is that she wants to say. And I got a lady respond back, and she's like, thanks for responding. You're super interesting. Can't wait to see what keeps going on. And I'm like, wow, she wasn't overly offended by my Plexus posts. Obviously, she thinks that's interesting and a part of my story. So awesome. And now I have a new Instagram follower and friend. So know who you are, know what your brand is. Brand yourself. It's okay to do that, you guys. It's okay to do that. My friend, I'm going to show you. Actually, I put it in the chat. If you look in the chat, carloswhitaker.com. You guys, Carlos Whitaker, I have known him for years. I worked with him at Sandals Church. He was the worship leader at Sandals Church. And he just started blogging. He was a blogger, and he gained a lot of momentum on his blog. He has parlayed what he started with his blog into his own career of public speaking. He played at the White House for President Obama on Easter, okay? He took his little blog and then played for Obama. He has written 2 books. His first book was excerpts from his blog, but he knows who he is. He's branded himself well. He's adopted a child from Korea. He's a worship pastor. He knows. He's got it down. We're going to get Carlos Whitaker. I promise you guys. We're going to get Carlos Whitaker in here to talk to us about branding yourself. Okay? That's my next job for you guys. Okay? So we'll get there. And then utilizing strategically, okay, so we talked about using hashtags, explaining your pictures, guys. So Kendra talked about that. Explain what your picture. Don't just post a picture, hashtag beach. Post your picture and say, hashtag 60-day trim up. Post your picture. Post a picture of you with your Plexus pink drink, running it out on the treadmill at the gym, like Melanie said, sweaty. So glad I got up this morning, did what I needed to do to handle my day. Let's kick ass. Let's take names. Hashtag 60-day trim up. Now you've got a story. Now people are interested. What? She's going to kick ass and take names? I want to kick ass and take names. And now they're going to follow you for the rest of your day. You know what I mean? Or maybe you did it at night. I'm so glad I ended my day strong. It's been awesome, and I couldn't be doing it without my Plexus Boost or whatever it is. what was Plexus Boost? I want to know more about that. So anyway, you guys, just really tell your story and be honest, because if you're using Plexus, you're just being honest about the story that you're telling. Also, here's one last, this is a little tip. People love to give their opinions, right? So if you have an opportunity to get someone's opinion on something, put it out there. Hey, what dress do you like? What glasses should I wear? Like, I'm going to the optometrist next week. I'm like, what glasses should I get? What style? Even if you find, like, I posted one the other day that was like baby name something or other, anything that like gets people interested or that they have to respond to, people love that stuff and it's fun anyhow. But what that really does from like a numbers standpoint is it increases your visibility, because now all of those people who engage with your post, they're going to automatically see your stuff in their newsfeed. This is a little, you can do this. And when you know you're going to do a Plexus post, like you're like, I'm going to do one at tomorrow morning, and you post a poll the night before or something like that, more people are going to see your Plexus post that way. So from a business standpoint, it pays to put out a poll, besides the fact that it's just fun to hang out with your friends online that way. So polls are fun.
And when it's a public post like that, when you make sure it's public and not just your friends or private, it shows up on their friends' news feeds too after so many comments. Yeah. So if Larissa puts up a poll about weird baby names and I comment on it, and then 3 more people comment after me. It all depends on algorithms of how many friends you have and such. But guess what? Those friends, it pops up in their newsfeed because their friend is friends with me, and they also commented, and I commented on Larissa. It's like a little chain reaction. And Instagram is starting to do that, where the more popular ones that are getting seen more, if you notice on your Instagram when you scroll down, those are seen. If you look at the time stamp on them, they're not in sequential order anymore. Yeah. So same idea. And we get a lot of requests and a lot of talk from our teams about, how can I get this out there? Or I'm scared to get this out there. I don't know what to say. If you never know what hashtag to say, reach out to us. Between the 3 of us, we can probably come up with 12 hashtags right off the bat. There are apps out there that help you search the most popular trending hashtags. I know if I look up trending hashtags on Google, I can look it up on my PC. I have an app on my phone that's called HashMe, and HashMe lets you put in a word. I could put in gut health, and it brings me the first 50 most popular hashtags that are connected with anyone who put up gut health. And that was really helpful for me, because in the beginning, I had no idea what I wanted to do with hashtags. You can look at my posts from a year ago, and I never used hashtags. I was okay on Instagram, but I would literally hold my phone and look around and go, hashtag still at home. Hashtag, like I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be like, hashtag preschooler life. Yeah, just like, I would literally, and how many times did I look over at you, my husband, and I'd be like, quick, what's another hashtag I can use? Right?
Don't say that anymore.
I don't say that anymore because I have an app. I don't need to say that anymore. I would literally go, honey, I need like 3 more hashtags, because if you didn't know this also, on Instagram, if you have a minimum of 11 hashtags, it can be on your post or a comment right below. It has to be the first comment. A minimum of 11 hashtags, it bumps it up. So I'd be like, I'm at 7, I need more. And he's like, well, what's it about? I'd be like, the beach. He's like, sand castle. Oh, that's a good one. I put sand, whatever, and we would literally be fishing. And it was, you guys, a post would take me like 20 minutes, and I was losing my mind. And I'm like, this cannot be how people do it. Search and search and search. If you don't follow Rachel Rogers on Instagram or Facebook, you need to. She's also an Emerald ambassador, but before that, she's done so much in health and fitness and other things. She's the one that put out a training on YouTube. No need to pay for stuff. And she gave the idea of HashMe, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I felt like it was the holy grail of hashtags. And I have to say, I use it sometimes now. I'm a little bit quicker on my feet. I'm no longer asking him, quick, I need a hashtag. But if you feel stuck, use something to help. And if you really go, I don't know where to look, message us. One of us are bound to say, okay, what's it about? Okay, cardboard boxes. Got it. Hashtag I'm moving. Hashtag I'm brown box baby boy, whatever it might be. I don't know, but someone's got to use it before. So FYI.
Okay, so I think that pretty much, did I miss anything, Randy, Melanie? We good?
Well, I do have some housekeeping before we go that we need I thought of.
Questions, but yeah, go. Housekeep.
Okay, so one of the things that I'm sitting here like, cause I'm trying to figure out what I can do to better myself. Huh?
Recording, is this a part, do we want to continue?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I want to do to like better my business and better my time into my business. So my goal, let's say my goal is to make $1,000 more in my Plexus business. Well, you need to think, how many hours do you need to work, or how many minutes do you need to work your Plexus business to get to that $1,000? If your like plan is to do that, you need to detail out your hours you're going to work, who you're going to contact, and how you're going to get this $1,000. It's not just going to appear. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk about is like, just identify how much money you want to make and how much time you're willing to put in to make that money, right? So some of us want to make all this money, but we only want to spend 20 minutes doing it. Well, that's not going to work. So you need to put in the time that you're wanting to invest into your business so that your business will pay you back. So that's one of the things I want to talk about. And then another one is we're at the end of the month. The month ends in 2 days? So we need to go and look in our back office, log in, look at your reports, make sure your team is getting paid. Because if your team member doesn't have their $100 and they have team members underneath them, that money goes to you. You didn't work for that. So you need to tell your team members to to get their 100 PV. There's so many people that are $8 away. $8 away from making their rightful commission. So we need to make sure that we're diligent at least twice a month, at least on the 15th and on the last day or toward the last day, and making sure that our team members have their 100 PV, you have your 100 PV, or you're close to 500. I've got some team members that are close to 500. They're like $8 away. I'm like, please go buy something so that you get your commissions, right? So that's just my housekeeping right there. How much time are you wanting to put into your business to make that extra money you need to be, happy? And then making sure your team members are, and you're logging in your back office and checking, got to check those things out. That's part of what we do now. Okay. All right. So those are my things there. Anybody else have anything?
No, that's great. When you were talking, I pulled up my report for my team, and on my team in all different directions, there are 5 people who are $10 and $20 away from earning commission on their own products. So that's a difference of buying like a trial pack or 2 to have on hand to hand out, or not making commission. So something that small can make a difference. And that's 15% of your sales. You don't have to deposit in your bank account. You can have it sit there and pay for your next Plexus products if you want. A lot of people on our teams just do enough so that their products are free. And if you're not getting your products for free, then we all need to talk, because you should be. So just FYI, check that. We'll always remind you as many times as we can. But you guys, we cannot log into your back office for you and do things for you like that, just like we cannot log in and see what your paycheck was last month. We can't do that. That's all on you. So if you want to get paid, you got to make sure you're at 100, and then don't be swiping your team's money. Check and make sure they're at 100. They earn that because they purchased product or sold it to their grandma's niece's uncle. Who knows? But at the same time, sharing is caring, and we're not about to pocket money from you. And I certainly hope you're not trying to pocket money from someone else.
Any
That's
questions? Any questions? Any questions from anyone before we go? I know this was a lot of information. Was helpful for anyone? Any questions at all?
And if you're not sure,
Don't wait 6 months to ask me a question back from January of last year.
Yeah, if anything comes up, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording now.